Just gonna give you guys a quick update here. We finished all the wiring. Let me have a seat here so we can stable this thing up. So once we finish our wiring here, I'll be done pretty quickly here, and then we got all the other 3 on this side now. They're all done. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to be setting up our first 6 racks down this side. We're starting to install some plywood over here on the back of our racks. So we're going to be sticking our motherboards over here. So I got a here, hold on a second. We're going to be putting our motherboards over here, and we'll be able to run our USB cables out to our cards and our power. And we got this plywood down over here. And we're going to pretty much so we'll have our riser cards. Like this. So we're going to be putting 6 cards per shelf, and we're going to be running the motherboards up here, and on each shelf we got a 20 amp breaker powering this plug right here. So I mean, I know a lot of guys are doing like 12 card rigs, 18 card rigs and more, but the way we figured is that you're limited by the amount of power you have, and so we can set up, we're estimating about 50 rigs. And since we have, you know, a whole unit out here, we're not really pressed for space. So the further away we can space these cards, the cooler they're going to run, and the more hash rate we're going to get. So I know a lot of guys are sticking 12 cards, 16 cards in there, jamming them together and on these small little rigs. And the problem what we have with that is, you know, overheating the cards not lasting as long because they're running faster fan speeds to keep the temps down. And so we want these cards to last. And so what we're doing is we're spreading them out, 6 cards per shelf, and 2 power supplies. We'll be using 2 1,000 watt power supplies. So we've been using the EVGAs, so we'll probably continue doing that. you know. So we got the EVGAs, one there, powered up into the motherboard, and all the video cards out in front. We're going to be running these small little fans. They'll be going out in front of the video cards, blowing air from the cold aisle in, and then right up above us, we're going to have that 20-inch fan sucking the hot air straight up out of this hot aisle. Now, right now I'm in the hot aisle. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And we should have our first 8 rigs up and running by tomorrow. You know, right now I have all the wires coming back to the rack, and we've wired them all into the patch panel there. So I might be spending some time today to hook up this rack, get all the servers running, and you know, we'll be using that stuff to monitor the rigs, be able to control them. We've got a couple of people that are going to be putting rigs in here as well. So this is like a group project, and basically we want them to be able to control their config files for their rigs, and you know, people might want to jump around to different coins. We're mostly mining ZCash in here, but I mean, because we got mostly 1080 Ti's to start. But we also have some 1070s, some 580s, and so we're going to have been doing some other coins as well. So that's the update I got right now. I'm just going to finish up this last panel here and clean up these wires, start wiring up the rack, and I think tomorrow we'll start hooking up the rigs. So tomorrow I'll put some videos together on the type of rigs we're hooking up. We're doing, like I said, 6-car rigs. Primarily we got the Asus Z270A boards. We got some of the ASRock H110s. We're going to be building rigs with EVGA, SC2 blacks. We got a bunch of cards. So we're going to be showing you guys a bunch of different rig setups with different cards, hash rates on the cards, see which ones run better, what config we're running them at to get the maximum amount of hash rate out of them, fan speeds, memory speeds, clock speeds. We'll show you what we got ours configured at. This way you guys will have a good idea what card will hash at what speed, you know, paired up with what motherboard and CPU and everything else. So that's where we're at right now. And so thanks for watching, and we'll give you another update probably tomorrow. Talk to you guys later.